Give it up for Jonathan Tipton Meyers.
Woo. Hey there. Something you should know about me, as a human being, I have a lot of faith. I was born with a lot of faith, and I came out here in 1998, in January. All I had when I came out here was a 1988 Acura Integra with a broken defroster. I had a duffel bag full of clothes. I had a Rand McNally map that only opened 2 times. Like, all it had in it was the major cities around the country and the time it would take to drive there if you were going 60 miles an hour. Like, how's that for faith, right? And the car that I literally bought an hour after I got my license, so I really hadn't driven it all. So, the plan was, I actually was going to come out here to write stories about how we all need each other to survive. So I had a mission, and I had a plan, and I also had a list of people that I'd met in an AOL chat room, right? And it was a writer's chat room, right? Don't look at me like that. And the plan was I was going to drive all day till I get to a Motel 6. I was going to pass out, I was going to wake up, I was going to Waffle House, and then just repeat until I got out to Los Angeles. And for the first couple of days, it was a great plan. Everything was perfect. It was January, it was snowing. I only drove off the road like once or twice. It wasn't bad. But the third day, actually, I was driving for like 9 or 10 hours because I was trying to get to this Motel 6 outside of Fredericksburg, Virginia, where I was going to meet Shelley, who was the first girl on this list, right? So I was driving and driving and driving. I finally get there. I go upstairs. Oh, I also had a PowerBook 145 with 4-bit grayscale. This was 1998, by the way. So, yeah, right, there's no color at all, right? So we get upstairs, and I open up the laptop, and I'm like, and I make plans with Shelley to meet her in like 2 hours. She says, I'm going to take you to my favorite bar. It'll be great. And I was like, awesome. But I was a wreck. I could barely keep my eyes open. But then I remembered that in my bag, I had a packet of No-Dos, right? Like, anybody ever had No-Do? You remember? Like, they're like these little white cocaine pills. Yeah, well, no, like each one is like the equivalent of like 3 cups of coffee, right? But I never had them, so I just shoved them both in my mouth, and and I leaned back and I passed out. And then all of a sudden it was like, bang, I woke up in a stupor because there was honking downstairs. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? What time is it? Oh, it must be her. So I grab my jacket, I run downstairs, and Shelley's there in her car, and she's got this big smile, and she's like, hey! And I'm like, hey! And Dan's there too, and he's like, hey! And I'm like, hey! It's her brother, right? I mean, it's okay, like, we don't know each other. It's 98, okay? All we had was, like, Netscape was big, okay? So I get in the car, and I close the door, and I'm rubbing my eyes, and she's like, okay, let's go. And zoom, we head off down the highway, right? Now, I'm still rubbing my eyes. I'm still waking up, and I'm looking at the signs and the exits. And I've never been here before, but it's really clear that I don't recognize any of these names on the highway exits. And then it hits me. Everything I do know is getting further and further and further away in the background. And then it becomes very clear to me that they're going to kill me, right? Because, like, I have a lot of faith, but I'm from New York. Do I need to say anything else? Right? And right when I'm thinking that, she goes, woo, and she drives off the highway down this long gravel road. Right? Yeah, where they take you to kill you. Right? And look, these people are really nice. Like, they are. They're like the most smiling, and they've got flannel because it's January and whatever. But I don't even know their last names. So I'm like in this car, like, I don't know these people. And we're going like, and it's just trees. There's nothing around. There's nowhere. I'm looking around for like, what kind of bar? And there's nothing, and it's getting darker, and it's darker, and all of a sudden the road just ends in front of this gigantic biker bar called Cowboy Jack's, right? And then there's a line of bikes out front, and they've all got these like insignias with calligraphy and stuff, and I'm terrified. And she's like, we're here. I'm like, okay, we're here. And they get out around the car, and I open the door, and I get out of the car, and as my feet hit the ground, the no-dose starts to kick in. And it's like literally like this. Like it's like, and we walk into Cowboy Jack's. And this place is packed to the gills. And everybody's like screaming and yelling. They all know each other. It's like, hey, hey. And they know Dan and Shelly because they're regulars. And they see Shelly and they're like, hey. And they see Dan and they're like, hey. And they see me and they're like, hey. And I'm thinking, yeah. It's like, ooh, Dan and Shelly caught a good one this time. Like, he's going to taste really good when we kill him and eat him. Like, not funny. It's not funny. They put me at this table right in the front. They sit me down, and before I know it, there's a giant beer right in front of me, right? Like it's planned. And I grab it really quickly, and I just start drinking. And I start drinking because it's covering the fact that I'm scoping the room, looking for the door, and like an exit or something, somewhere I could sneak. Oh, it's like, oh, all right. Okay, there's a restroom there, and I'll just keep drinking and drinking. And I'll say, I got to go to the bathroom, and I'll go in there, right? And I'll just go right past it, and I'll go past that door. And when I get out that door, what? What am I going to do? There's no cell phone. 98. Okay? There's no cell phones. I don't know where the hell I am. There's no lights around. I don't know these people. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. How the hell did I get in this situation? I'm so stupid to put myself in this situation. They're going to kill me. And right when I thought that, the whole room goes quiet. And I thought, oh shit, did I say that out loud? Right? And right at that moment, 4 of them like stand up together, like in this group, and they look and they find me, and they make a beeline right for me, right? And they're like holding hands in this weird like ritual way, and they start walking towards me, and they get really close to me, and they lean in, and this guy's in front, right? He's like 6'3", he's got these big shoulders, and he leans right in and he says, 525,600 minutes. I'm like, what? That's Seasons of Love, that's from Rent. 525,000 moments so dear. Are you wearing leg warmers? 525,600 minutes. How can you measure a year in daylight? And I'm like, oh, no. Is it musical theater night at Scary Cowboy Jack's? And right at that moment, right, the no-do starts to wear off. And I see like, oh, there's 2 guys are like kissing in the back. And oh, there's 3 people and they're there. Oh, he's got a Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I'm like, no. I think I'm going to be okay.